You never did learn to keep your big nose out, did you, Wiggles?
Tracking down the O'Connor brothers to a secret drug warehouse on the docks in the dead of night all alone maybe wasn't my best idea. But what can I say? When a grieving mother hires me to find out who supplied the street poison that killed her daughter, I'm pretty tenacious.
We never force people to buy what we supply. They're all willing customers. Besides, we never killed no one's daughter.
Well, no, that was just an example. But when an old woman comes to me wanting to know who stole her favorite dog, I'm just as determined to crack the case.
Pathetic. Just stay down. If you were an actual threat to our operation, old man Romano would have dropped you in the tar pits years ago. As it stands, I think he enjoys watching you swing and miss. Me, I'm getting bored of this disruption.
Maybe, but I'm not leaving without Fluffles.
His name's Buster, and he's my dog now. We're family.
I wouldn't take him home if I were you. Your mother might get confused and wonder where the third O'Connor triplet has been hiding all this time.
You shut your filthy mouth.
Connor, tie him up, gag him and put him out of the way. We'll deal with him later. Our guest will be arriving soon and I don't want him upset at the sight of blood.
Well, that didn't quite go as planned. A quick drop-off with Donnie and Connor O'Connor, who distribute the drugs on behalf of the Romano gang, and the filth keeps on flowing.
Good to see you, boys. You got the package?
Sure. You got the money?
Of course. Mr. Romano's got a reputation to maintain.
Police! Stay where you are!
How the hell did... It's Wiggles. He's ratted us out to the cops. Go get him, Buster!
Get to the boat!
Buster! No!
Leave that bloody mutt and get in the damn boat! Connor!
Please, get out of here.
Go! Go! Just go!
Hey, any chance you can help a guy out?
What was that?
Wiggles P.I. What the hell are you doing here? Oh, I'm just people watching. It helps my craft. Only it turns out some people don't like it when you watch. I don't doubt it. Get out of that cupboard. I should charge you with interfering in a police raid. Really, Captain, I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Say, are you gonna take the body? Because I know someone
It's
who...
evidence. You ratted us out, Wiggles. Romano won't stand for that.
Boys, get that scum out of here. And Wiggles, if I catch you interfering in another police investigation, I'll throw the bloody book at you. Now on your way. I should get "some days you don't get paid" printed on my business cards. It's funny how a whole city can carry a mood. When the sun's shining, there's plenty of work, and the creeps are kept in check, everybody walks around with stars in their eyes and peace in their hearts. But a little rain, a few layoffs, and one too many goons walk instead of having the key thrown away, and the smiles are replaced with frowns longer than the record-breaking zucchini at last year's county fair. In this town, corruption is so out in the open it's not only tolerated, it's celebrated with hot dogs and a parade. But what can a lowly PI like me do? Put it this way. My office is on the side of town where you can get a hooker and as much reefer as you can smoke just by walking out the door on a Tuesday afternoon. Before you know it, Wednesday's Thursday.
Stop fussing, Laura. I'll be fine. Wait out here. This won't take long. Good afternoon, Mr. Wiggles.
Black dress, black hat, black veil, black purse. Let me guess, you're going to a wedding.
Do you mind if I smoke? My husband's dead, murdered, and I need you to find the killer.
Isn't this a job for the police?
The police are already involved, Mr. Wiggles. The problem is, they're convinced it's suicide.
And how did they get that idea?
They found him dead in the bathtub, with a hole in his head and a gun in his hand.
Sounds pretty conclusive to me. What makes you think he didn't do it?
Hank would never do that to me.
I've heard that before, but sometimes a man can go too far into the dark. So far, he can't get back out, and the only light he can find is at the end of the barrel of a gun.
You're a cynical man, Mr. Wiggles. Maybe that's something you'd do. But my husband was a decent man. He had a lot to live for. He ran a successful car dealership, owned his own home, and he had a wife that loved him.
Okay, let's say it's not suicide. Do you know anyone who wanted your husband dead?
Hank was a good man, but he wasn't perfect.
Not perfect how? Smoking? Drinking? Drugs? Black markets? Underhanded business deals? Cockfights? Borrowing money? Eating dessert first?
I don't know the details, Mr. Wiggles. All I know is Hank was worried.
Worried someone was gonna hurt him? Or hurt you? Did you tell this to the police?
Of course I did. But they didn't care. They said there was evidence at the scene to rule suicide.
Look, either way, your husband's dead. You're saying he wouldn't kill himself, but maybe it's best not to know.
It's not that simple, Mr. Wiggles. Before he died, my husband took out life insurance.
Convenient.
Here's a copy of the policy. It's supposed to pay out $10,000 in the event of accidental or unlawful death.
But void in the case of suicide.
I don't have much, Mr. Wiggles. Without this, I have nothing.
I don't do pro bono.
Well, my sister has lent me a little money, and once the insurance pays out, I can pay you 5%. I can pay you $10 now.
$10 buys you a day. I'll investigate. And if I think you're onto something, then let's say 10%.
That's a lot of money, Mr. Wiggles.
From where I'm sitting, it's a whole lot of nothing.
I'll agree to your terms, Mr. Wiggles, but it's a pig of a man who takes advantage of a grieving widow in such circumstance.
I'll need the 10 now. How shall I contact you?
I'm staying at my sister's. Here's your $10 and my number, along with the address where my husband was killed. It's Jensen, by the way. Mary Jensen.
Okay, Blondie. If I find anything, I'll call you. I took my $10 to Joe's bar. I needed a drink and some advice.
Wiggles, you want the usual?
Sure thing, Joe.
You working a case or killing time?
Both. I got a suicide that abroad assures me was murder.
Reminds me of a case I had in 22. Dame convinced her husband wasn't the type. Thought it was the local mob.
What happened?
I spent 3 weeks locked in a gangster's basement, hopped up on morphine tied to a spring bed. Only just managed to escape with my life. Lost so much weight the handcuffs just fell right off and I slipped out the window.
So it was murder?
Nope, suicide. They found him with a shotgun in his hand and the back of his head blown clean off. Obvious, really. So, what's your deal?
Bullet to the head in a bathtub.
That was nice of him.
What do you mean?
Not much cleaning up. Blood goes down the drain. Not many people that consider it.
You're right. Stand-up guy.
Messy job. Hope she's paying you plenty.
Well, there's insurance money on the line. I prove it's murder, I'm cleaning up.
You'll not see a dime. Damn insurance companies don't pay out when there ain't chance of suicide.
I'll take a sniff around the joint, not find anything, and see you later tonight.
If you ask me, she probably shot him herself and threw the gun in the tar pits.
They found the gun in his hand.
It was probably poisoning. Lead poisoning.
Good one, Duke.
Damn barflies. I drank up and left. I know what I'm doing. The address the blonde had given me was slap bang in the middle of suburbia. Houses thrown up quickly by construction outfits who use building codes as more of a guide than a legal requirement. Sold on to desperate suckers who think they got a good deal by corrupt realtors in cahoots with the shady loans companies. Maybe it was better than sleeping in your office, but I wouldn't know. A cop car was already parked in the driveway, so I pulled up on the street and walked over. I didn't recognize the beat cop watching over the crime scene, so I readied my PI license and my winning smile. Officer, how are you doing today?
Mighty fine, Mr.
Wiggles, PI. Here's my license. Look, I know you need to keep things locked down, but the lady of the house asked me to drop by and pick up a few things she really needs right now.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been told not to let anyone in. I couldn't let you in if you were the lady of the house herself.
You know, that's a real shame. She was inconsolable. Said to me she was sure the police would understand, seeing as your boss told her they were closing the case and all. You know, if you escorted me in, you could make sure I wasn't disturbing anything.
Well,
Good man. You know, my client really appreciates this. Front door?
Yeah, this way. Come on. After you, sir.
Of course. Wow, this is generously small.
It's a strange house, to be sure. I'm not sure the builders had a plan when they put her together.
The furniture's a little mismatched. Formica table, brown couch, radio set hanging on for dear life.
What exactly is it you're looking for?
Oh, it's over here on the sideboard. Photograph of the couple. Happier times. Cocktails for two in Mexico.
Who puts a photograph on the sideboard without a frame?
You know, it used to have a frame. You can see the edges are slightly discolored.
Okay, if that's all.
Officer, my client needs more than a photograph. I'll just go through here.
I don't think the lady needs anything from the garage.
Well, she told me she left her purse in this nice new car here. Wow. This makes my trusty road horse look like it's ready for the dog food factory.
Can you hurry up? I don't think we should be in here for too long.
You know, she didn't tell me where the keys were. I'm sure they're around here somewhere. I better check in the, kitchen. Stomach is grumbling. Maybe there's some kind of clue in the refrigerator. Not much to go on. Moldy milk, old cheese, and a third thing. Aha! Kiosk with keys and a bottle of scotch. Might as well top off my lucky number 7 hip flask while I'm here. Say, it's a bit of a maze round here. Could you show me the bedroom? My client needs some personal things.
It's this one, I think.
I'll just grab what I need from the closet, which might be in Jensen's suit pockets. Bingo. Pawn receipts. That explains the missing picture frame. This guy didn't have a nickel to scratch his ass with.
Look, if there's nothing else, we should really be leaving.
What's your rush, officer? Hot date to rush off to? I need some things from the bathroom.
You can't go in the bathroom, sir.
A lady can't be doing without her personals, officer. The body's not still in there, is it?
No, but...
Well, that's okay then, isn't it? The tub is a mess. I bet there's plenty of Jensen making its way down the pipes. Look at that den where the bullet hit. Must have ricocheted back into his head. Ooh, messy. What was here on the floor?
The detectives didn't flag anything as evidence when they were here. Usually it's me that has to bag it and tag it.
There's blood splatter. But if you look carefully, there's a rectangular shape missing. As if something blocked the spray.
I don't...
I'll just grab this hairbrush. It's a family heirloom. Oh, there's blood on it. I'll just throw it in the trash, right next to this used bandage. Just one more thing. Where's the study?
There's a study?
Of course there's a study, officer. The man ran his own car dealership. He needs somewhere to organize his paperwork. How thorough was this police investigation?
Well,
Lead on, McDuff.
It must be this way.
You should watch where you're going, officer. You nearly tripped over this extremely out-of-place silver wine cooler. Looks like Jensen could really have used a secretary. There's paper everywhere. I'll never find what I'm looking for. These accounts don't look good. That dealership of his was losing money hand over fist. He must have borrowed that fancy car in the garage from his own dealership to save face. Wait a minute. What's this?
What have you found?
A contract with a delivery company to supply vehicles. It's unsigned, but this was definitely on the cards. Tell me, officer, do you think a businessman sitting on a huge deal like this one would decide to kill himself?
What are you saying?
Sounds like someone pulling up outside. Shouldn't you go check on that?
I guess I should.
I'll be right out. Right after I've poked around a bit more. Newspapers, anti-scotch glasses, and a book of matches. Well, Jensen won't be needing them. and you can never have enough matches. Time to go before someone competent arrives to take over from Officer Clueless. Oh, hello, floor. Oh, long time no see. Wait a minute, what's that? Under the dresser in the bedroom. A wallet. I better look after this. Not that the police seem to care that much. I walked out of the house to see my old partner, Ted Stannon, talking to the beat cop. Yeah, I was a cop myself for 10 minutes, and Ted was my Jiminy Cricket trying his best to keep me straight. You'd have thought Ted had done his time with career-challenging partners, but here he was with Brick Schultz. Compared to this guy, I was St. Peter's halo. Brick was grabbing something from a black Buick. He looked up and his permanent scowl deepened as he clocked my handsome features. He threw a withering stare at the beat cop, and to his credit, the cop looked at me and tried to look shocked. But I don't think he could have fooled his short-sighted elderly grandmother who'd forgotten to take her pills. Ted looked concerned with a hint of relief, which was interesting.
Wiggles, what the hell do you think you're doing here? This is barely a matter for the police. What possible reason would a drunk, useless waste of space like you need to be here?
Last time I checked, I was a private investigator.
Ha! When did you last check?
I've been hired by the stiff's wife to make sure the boys in blue aren't just ruling this a suicide so they can leave work early and head over to Randy's donut shop for a quick sugar fix.
I prefer Wendell's. And besides, this is a suicide. So tell that interfering broad to spend her money on a nice send-off for a wastrel husband instead of flushing it down the toilet and giving it to you.
There's no need to get personal, Brick. I'm sure Wiggles was simply touched by her grief and wanted to help, and was going to tell her the same thing we did.
More likely touched by her purse and the opportunity to take advantage of a widow's grief.
My client owns this house, and I have as much right to be here as the police. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have places to be.
Listen to me, Wiggles. Don't go trying to stir up the beehive and draw this thing out for your own gain. It ain't right.
Since when did you care about what was right, Brick?
Let's calm down, fellas. Wiggles, a word?
Looks like Brick's about to tear strips from Mr. Uniform over there. Wouldn't surprise me if he had him standing there all night.
Wiggles, what are you doing to yourself? You look a state.
Like I said, I'm working a case, which is more than I can say for your partner. Does he ever follow through, or is it always the easy answer so he can get back to the office and put his feet up?
Brick is just a little quick to jump to conclusions. Look, just take it easy, will ya? Give me a call sometime and we'll go for, coffee.
Sure, Ted. Sure.
Excuse me. Hey, you. Hey, Mr. Policeman?
Ma'am.
Oh, so I'm not invisible. Tell me, when are you gonna finish up here and leave? I got my sister coming from the East Coast. This is a nice area. I don't want police and corpses all over the neighborhood stinking up the place and bringing the prices down.
You do realize that this is a murder scene and your neighbor is dead.
Murder scene? The nice policeman over there told me it was suicide. And I can believe it. Both of them carrying on all hours, coming and going and coming back again.
Oh. Did you hear anything in particular the night in question?
Oh, heck no. The new pills Dr. Warner gave me to have in my nightcap are fabulous. Knocked me right out. I'm even thinking of not using the face mask and earplug.
Right.
Mm-hmm. A policeman on duty and drinking. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're no better than that tramp that started hanging around here, wandering the streets at night, following people around, begging. I think he's got a screws. Staggering around in his booze-fueled afternoons and sleeping in gutters. This is a nice area. Did I tell you my sister's coming from the East Coast?
So where does this homme diabolique hang out when he's on his drink and drug-fueled rampage, tearing up the street of this here nice neighborhood?
Well, someone's finally taking note of what I have to say. Like I told your friends over there, I was by what used to be the bakery on Vaudeville and 2nd when he came up to me demanding charity. I told him to go to hell. I do my bit for the local community. I baked a cake one time for the church fete, vanilla and cream. The Reverend said it was the best he'd ever tasted. Hey, where are you going? I haven't finished telling you about my cake.
Damn crazies. If this is what passes for community spirit in this town, I'll stick with the lowlives. At least they're honest about not giving a damn. Might be a long shot, but maybe that filthy hobo saw something these self-absorbed suburbanites chose to ignore. I get in my car and head over to Vaudeville on 2nd. It was only a short ride away. As I got closer, the mood changed. The buildings got higher and the shadows grew longer, the newer cookie-cutter houses giving way to the welcome feel of the old town. I drove past the alley by the old bakery, but there was no sign of a tramp. I turn around and park on the other side of the street. I wait 10 minutes, about a fifth of a flask, and then I spot a man in filthy clothes staggering into the alley. I get out of my car, light a cigarette, take another fifth, and cross over. Hey there. Don't look so tense. I only want to talk.
What you want, suit?
I don't want no trouble, friend. I just need to ask you a couple of questions.
Say, that's a nice hip flask, friend.
Fancy your drink? Here you go. Easy there, pal. That stuff's not free. You seen the guy in this picture? What are you pointing at, friend?
Hey, Wiggles! Finally back with your own kind!
Don't like cops, huh? Neither do I. Now, where were we? Have you seen... Jesus. Let me help you up. I don't normally wear my best shoes on an investigation, but when they're your only shoes, you have to be careful. Not that this guy cared. So I guess the interview's over. You're not keeping my lucky number 7, friend. I head back to my car, shake the puke off my shoes, wiping off the excess with a handkerchief, which I toss to the curb. Time to go with the next best lead. I pull out the receipts I found at the Jensen's. The address of the pawn shop was printed nice and neat at the top. I walked into the shop to find a middle-aged man in steel-rimmed spectacles and a tattered waistcoat surrounded by other people's once-loved treasures, sacrificed to put a meal in their belly or a needle in their arm.
Hey, what can I do for you? Picking up or dropping off?
Neither. I need the lowdown on the guy in this picture.
Never seen him.
Strange, because these receipts down here say otherwise.
My memory's a little hazy. I ain't what it used to be.
Say, what size are those shoes?
$10.
I'll take them.
Oh, I'm suddenly remembering something. Oh yeah, this guy. Been in a lot. Nice guy, polite. There are 2 types of people who come in here. Guys on the reefer, guys on the chips.
Gambler, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the shoes.
Anytime. You want a receipt?
No thanks. After making a few calls to the right people and visiting all the backroom poker games in the area, I was no closer to finding Hank Jensen's gambling den of choice. Exhausted, I leaned up against the wall of the latest place I'd been thrown out of. I pulled out the matchbook I had lifted from the Jensens and attempted to light a cigarette, but the cold night air kept blowing out the flame. On the 4th attempt, I curled my hand around the open book, lifting the cheap cardboard match to my face. I noticed something embossed on the inside cover. As I breathed in the heavy smog from my brand of choice, I call them coffin nails. An S? Maybe a J. As I turned on my collar, pulled down my trusty hat, and moved towards my car, I noticed a large poster on the wall next to me. Fatso's Nightclub and Casino. Cabaret, featuring Veronica Star, dancing girls, jazz band, and all the vintage champagne you can drink. The F in Fatso's looking strangely familiar. I flipped up the matchbook, holding it up against the poster. Bingo. Fatso's Nightclub and Casino. Throwing the butt to the ground by a streetlight, I realized I was in the same alley where I'd met the tramp earlier that day. Damn it, he wasn't pointing at the cops. He was pointing at this. As I looked across the street, the spotlights hitting the building lit up an imposing figure matching the poster almost exactly. The gaudy neon sign highlighting the colorful characters to be found within. Fatso's was one of the city's premier nightclubs, a high-class place for high-class people to get high on liquor and dames. Everybody knew Fatso, Alfonso Jabroni, one of LA's biggest businessmen, figuratively and literally. He had a figure in every pie going and a physique that looked like he ate every pie he laid eyes on. They say he's as slippery as a snake in motor oil. Allegations of gang violence, drug pushing, and corruption evaporate into thin air, much like those making the accusations. To say he wasn't a nice man was underselling him. If you got on the wrong side of Fatso, he'd chew you up and not even bother to spit you out. He didn't have to be somebody to get inside, but it was cheaper than bribing the doorman to skip the line that snaked round the block. Unless, of course, you've bribed your way into as many top-end joints as I have. And then you get the I know the doorman bribe discount.
Wiggles! How you doing, my man?
Benny, you working the door at Fatso's now?
Yeah, I'm moving up in the world.
So what's going on tonight?
Well, Mr. W, let me give you the skinny. Pretty busy tonight. Miss Star is playing. And when Miss Star is playing, those hips start a-swaying. And there's many a man that want to keep 'em that way until the small hours, if you catch my meaning.
I slipped Benny a couple of bucks, and he gave me his big smile and exaggerated wink for all those in the queue to see. There was a man who knew his trade. I stepped under the rope and strode into the lobby. It was still early, but as Benny had pointed out, the place was filling up quickly. A troupe of dancing dames were on the stage, decked out in nothing but feathers and a smile. The band were on form the night, and the crowd was in good spirits. Fatso's had 2 levels, but unless you were VIP, you weren't getting up there no matter how rich the convincer. Looking up, I saw more than one movie star enjoying the good champagne. If they knew Fatso like I did, they want to check the label. It was strange how Fatso's got a hold of so many bottles of rare, vintage champagne. I headed toward the bar. Bourbon on the rocks in a tumbler with bitters, a few drops of water, sugar cube, slice of orange, and hell, how about a cherry on a stick?
Sure thing, pal.
Tell me, you ever seen the guy in this photograph in here?
Yeah, I've seen him.
You ever speak to him?
No. Cheap drinks, cheap tips.
So he's not here for the liquor.
He was here for what most of the men here tonight are here for. Veronica Starr.
What makes her so popular?
You hang around for about an hour or so. You'll find out.
Thanks.
Hey, don't forget your cherry.
I grossly overpaid for my drink and moved to a recently vacated table near the stage. I had a couple more drinks while I waited, quickly understanding why the blonde's husband stuck to the bottom shelf brands. A thin, balding man with a wax mustache wearing a white dinner jacket stepped up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the woman you've all been waiting for is finally here. Exclusive to Fatso's. It's the one, the only, Veronica Starr.
The man left quickly, and the lights went down. The band kicked in with a sultry number as the curtains opened, revealing a woman with hair like fire and the body of a Greek goddess. The atmosphere in the room grew thick as my breath escaped with such a head start I'd be chasing it for the rest of my life. When she opened her lipstick lips and sang her black magic, every man in the audience pulled his heart from his chest and threw it on the stage. I drank her in so deep the bourbon was jealous, and by the time the show was over, I had forgotten my reason for being at Fatso's. The curtains closed and the general hubbub returned. The waitress who served my table was nowhere to be seen, so I picked up my empty glass and headed back to the bar. As I ordered another drink, I turned around and there she was, chatting to one of the dancing girls. I straightened my tie and leaned on the bar. Hey, I enjoyed your performance.
Why, thank you, Mr.
Wiggles.
Thank you, Mr. Wiggles.
So what's Fatso got on you?
Well, I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Knockout dame like you should be on the silver screen instead of flaunting your goods in a seedy joint like this.
Fatso's has been good to me. I like it here. There's a good crowd.
So I've seen. You ever seen this guy in the crowd? Something wrong?
No, why?
You look like I handed you the repair bill for my car instead of a photograph.
No, I just couldn't see it clearly in the light. Lots of people come in here, Mr. Wiggles. I can't remember every face.
He was here a lot. Seemed he took a special interest in you. Maybe more than he should.
I don't know what you're implying, Mr. Wiggles, but I don't like it. You've had one too many, and I think this conversation is over. Frank, there's another drunk here bothering me.
Your drink, sir. Hey, where's the cherry?
Come on, pal. You're done here.
Can't I finish my drink? Hey!
Whoops. You've dropped your drink. Looks like you had enough.
Frank grabbed me with hands that a gorilla would be proud of and dragged me through the crowd to an exit at the rear of the club, throwing me out and slamming the door behind him. I picked myself up off the floor and dusted down my inexpensive suit. I started to head down the alley towards Sunset Boulevard when the door opened again. I turned, hoping to see Veronica's seductive form on the stairs, but instead, a girl wearing feathers gestured for me to walk toward her. She pushed a napkin into my chest and promptly disappeared back into the bustling nightclub. Opening the napkin, I could see words written in the same shade of lipstick that adorned the spectacular Miss Starr's bountiful lips. It simply said, "Come back tomorrow."
You've just been listening to Wiggles P.I. in 2 Bites of the Cherry. Starring the voices of Alan Carmichael, Dale Brett, Ivy D, Niklaus Feel, and Notha the dog as Buster. You can find Ivy D at voiceacting.love-takes-work.com. To find out more about Wiggles P.I., head over to noircastmedia.com. Hey there, it's Joe here from Joe's Bar. Let's finish on one of my signature cocktails. Bahama, who's your mama? Take 1 large tiki glass, a ripe pineapple, core, peel, chop, and mash it up real good in the glass. Add 3 shots of vodka, 3 shots of whiskey, and 3 shots of port. And stir it up. Oh, and make sure you're near a restroom. Enjoy.